Hey everybody, welcome back to Sounds Like a Drum, Cadence Independent Media Production, Product Feature Day. We're talking about some really interesting snare batters from Cardinal Percussion and Attack Drumheads. Going all the way back, I'm a coated snare batter guy. I've been playing brushes for a really long time. I'm used to the look and the sound and the feel of them. And most of the time, I just use a straight single ply head with nothing added to it. But two things that do come up is the concept of a little bit of overtone control ring around the edge or some kind of center dot. For me, a reverse dot most of the time because of the brushes. And we are looking at the Royal1 series of batters today from Attack. These are super interesting. We have a lot to talk about with these two. It's going to be a little bit of a comparison thing, but let's get right into it. So first of all, we have the center dot head, Royal1 series. This is basically a 10 mil head with a reverse dot in the center. We are learning a lot here, checking out different companies and different brands, different heads, things like that. And we went out of our way to use our normal superphonic snare that we always use to kind of check out these based, against the things that we're used to. And we found amazing sounds in both of these heads today. Both of these heads feature DuPont S 10 mil film, which is more or less the industry standard. A lot of drumhead companies use this, so the feel is more or less what you would expect from a 10 mil coated head. And if you play center dot heads or anything with a ring around the edge to control the overtones, it's kind of in the ballpark feel-wise. We'll start with the center dot head because for me it was the one where I kind of got what I was expecting out of it with a couple of cool surprises. We're going to take this head through a range of tunings, but we're going to start out with a medium. If you've ever played a power center reverse dot, a CS, something like that, this is in that kind of vein of heads, and it feels phenomenal. I don't normally play center dot heads, and I would for sure play this one because it's got the kind of rebound that I expect from a single ply head that sometimes the addition of a dot in the center doesn't really give me. Hard to say where it's coming from, but it doesn't feel like any kind of side shift to a different feeling head for sure. Plenty of overtones, super duper loud, which is one of the things that's great about these heads. It's a very focused sound. Ghost notes are clear. And it also has that nice thing about a center dot where when you get the wires like pretty tight, like right on the edge of choking out when you're playing at a lower tension, when you start to dig in, they still move away because there's a little bit more mass in the center than there would otherwise be with a single ply head, in addition to the durability factor that you get with a little more mass in the center. All right, let's swing her on down to low country. As expected, lots of overtones, but for sure more focused than if there was just nothing on the head, just a straight up. And controllable, actually, depending on your accuracy, basically. If you can hit in the same place, you can get a big sound without every hit sounding different. More of an effect sound, possibly, or special occasion kind of vibe. But if we add a handkerchief to the edge or a bandana, it starts to really get dialed in. So that's super fun. Nice and fat, sounds good. And even at this low tuning, we still are receiving that dynamic thing of the center dot head, of having it have articulation at soft dynamics and then really blowing out the harder that you hit it without really choking at all. Now to the stratosphere, we're going to go super duper high. Again, like, I'm getting Red Hot Chili Peppers kind of vibes. I'm getting, nu metal kind of vibes where it's a normal size snare drum. It's not a piccolo or anything, but the harder I hit it, the better it sounds. And any kind of rolls and diddles and stuff you're going to do, definitely coming out. But there's a fatness because of that dot in the center. And a little bit of peace of mind that there is going to be a little more durability in there. Let's talk about the coating, because that's the thing that was immediately noticeable to me, because it's a coated head. This is Attack's US Duracoat coating. Every company has their own way of doing coating on coated heads, and the thing I noticed immediately when we got the brushes out was that they didn't catch anywhere on this head at all, which is surprising. I actually can't think of any time that a coated head has done that for me, where I actually couldn't make it catch. I tried really hard. I had the brush steep and I was ramming it in there and I couldn't get it to. And it also sounds nice right out of the gate without any break-in or anything like that. And there are heads out there that will do that, but this one, it feels exactly like a coated head, like a month in to playing it, which makes me really happy. All right, we wrung that one out. Let's move on to the other one. This is the no overtone. This head is the sort that I have a little bit less experience with, which is a snare batter that has a built-in overcontrol ring. I just haven't really used them that much. I've thought of them in the past as being a little bit less versatile, possibly, or prone to choking at higher tensions. This one is giving us actually exactly what it says. It sounds like the other one with virtually no overtones at most tunings. And the kind of amazing thing about this versus the other one is that with a center dot, you're dealing with options, different options at different tunings, different sounds at different tunings. This is basically incredible consistency from ridiculously low to ridiculously high. And that's what we're going to do with it. The low tuning feels pillowy. It has less overtones than the other one. A little bit of added stuff. If you want to completely crush them, you can do that. But it is awesome for anything where you want a kind of like wild sound at that tuning range. Now we'll go the other way. Tune it up super high. Again, it sounds like a packaged snare sound that's maybe like got strategic tape on it and stuff like that, but it's not choking out. It still feels good, and it's still doing that thing that we were actually getting from the center dot, which is that tighten up the wires pretty tight, but they're not choking when I dig into the drum, and there's tons of articulation at low heights, which is what I want all of the time. I don't ever want it to feel stifled when I'm digging in hard, and I don't want it to feel messy when I'm low. I kind of like that thing of it being clear down here and then just sort of blowing up the harder that you hit it, and that's literally what we're getting. For versatility's sake, we should also talk about brushes on this drum. The ring is on the inside, so you can play brushes on this. You're not going to run into any kind of stuff that's on top of the batter head. So if you're in a situation where you need control, maybe, I mean, for me, like country gigs, especially where I'm going to have to do brushes, train beats, and also like kind of punky stuff sometimes. I mean, you never know. This is a kind of a great all-purpose controlled head. So that about sums it up. We have two really versatile options for what amount to single ply heads with minor modifications that between the two of them can cover, I mean, anything that I would need to cover. And you can play brushes on them right out of the box, which is actually kind of a huge deal for me. Because that's an all-the-time thing, especially for studio and loops, things like that. I'm really pleased with these. I'm really surprised by these. I haven't played heads from this company since I was much younger. It's been a really long time, and we're really having a blast with them here. All right, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get all of our notifications. We're still doing tutorials every Tuesday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we're getting super psyched about snare spotlights, product features, all sorts of things in Season 3 just to show you what's out there, what's going on. Everybody's stuck at home. A new drum head is an exciting thing that you can do while you're waiting for gigs to come back. And thanks so much to Cardinal Percussion for hooking us up with all these heads and giving us the opportunity to check them out, really put them through the ringer, and learn what they can do. It's kind of amazing. And also, if you're familiar with any of these, or if these are choices that you make for your snare, let me know what kind of music you play, how you tune them, and yeah, we'll see you in the comments.